You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. All right, you guys. So hopefully everybody will get this notification. I appreciate all of you guys that are going to join the stream. Shout out to my sister Elaine that pulled up with that $100 donation to the PayPal late last night. I appreciate you. Much love to you, my sister, and I'm always praying for you, hoping that you're doing good. And man, just all the love to you. Appreciate you for supporting the network. And everybody else that want to support, y'all can as well. The link will be pinned at the top. Now, hopefully you guys will start getting these notifications again because we're doing the lives. So y'all smash the like button, share the video, like the video. Let's get over 1,000 likes. And let's get right into it because Maria Farmer, this woman who had multiple claims against Jeffrey Epstein, has now come out putting Donald J. Trump, the Department of Justice, and everybody on blast now. And I'm going to let you hear what she had to say, but just to remind you of what's going on with her, she was one of the first people that came forward. Now, she, at the very time this happened to her, went to the FBI back in 96, right? And so she had multiple allegations. Now, she also has said that there are many co-conspirators that are not being held accountable. Matter of fact, let's get to what she says and her accusations against Jeffrey Epstein, and then we'll get to what she says now. And I'm going to tell you why she's getting criticized. And I do have this question too, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So she basically accused Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell of sexually assaulting her. And she also accused Ghislaine Maxwell of threatening her life, right? We're going to get into that too. The same Ghislaine Maxwell is trying to get out right now. So she accused Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell of sexually assaulting her in 1996. The assault occurred after Jeffrey Epstein had arranged for her to travel to an Ohio mansion owned by an associate named Leslie Wexner. Now, Maria Farmer, she warned the FBI that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were both running a trafficking ring and actively abusing minors, right? Including her own 16-year-old sister by the name of Annie Farmer. Now, Maria Farmer also alleged that Jeffrey Epstein stole a hard copy and semi anatomical art photos of her two underage sisters from her lockbox. She accused him of trafficking those across state lines and selling the photos to potential buyers. She also stated that Jeffrey Epstein ordered her to photograph young girls at the swimming pool. She stated that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell threatened to burn her house down and murk her or unalive her or erase her if she ever spoke to anyone about the stolen photos or the abuse. She provided law enforcement with firsthand knowledge regarding the depth of Jeffrey Epstein's network, accusing him of using his wealth to lure vulnerable girls and utilizing ties to powerful political figures to maintain a circle of abuse. She has also now sued the federal government through the Marsh Law Firm under the Federal Tort Claims Act. She claims that the FBI's gross negligence in failing to investigate her 1996 report allowed Jeffrey Epstein to continue abusing hundreds of victims for decades. And now she has come out in a viral video and let it hang. And let's talk about, or let's play what she had to say. I want y'all to hear this.
My name is Maria Farmer. I am the whistleblower reported Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Les Wexner, and others to the FBI 30 years ago in 1996. Today, I apologize for my appearance. I was not well enough to attend this hearing in person and have recently been released from the hospital. That's the result of 30 years of fighting. For 3 decades, I've carried a weight that no survivor should ever have to bear. I reported what I believed were heinous crimes against children, and these individuals responsible were involved in an international pedophile ring. I reported their crimes in real time, and the government continues to ignore me to this day. In 1996, I reported Epstein and his co-conspirators to my local New York City 6th precinct. The commanding officer told me local police could only address the local arson crimes, and he instructed me to immediately report the whole story spanning several states to the FBI. He told me that it was vitally important that I tell the whole story to the FBI, which I did. The FBI asked me questions, said they were familiar with some of the perpetrators I identified, and gave me every reason to believe they would respond. That failure, that single moment when law enforcement refused to take action, set off a cascade of injustice and grave repercussions to my sisters, my family, and so many others, and to me personally, including my health and well-being. The FBI's decades of failure and inaction led to countless more girls and young women suffering abuse and trauma that could have been prevented. Individuals like Virginia Giuffre, Mishka DeGiorgio, Monte Davies, Marika Shartoni, Danny Bensky, Jenna Lisa Jones, Ashley Rubright, and Jennifer Rose, among others. Each survivor represents a life change forever, suffering that could have been spared if the FBI had done their job in 1996. The failures did not stop there. In 2006, the FBI tracked me down, stating that they searched for me because they knew I had reported Epstein 10 years earlier and no one else had. They urged me to testify in a federal criminal trial against Epstein and his co-conspirators, and they promised that they would get him this time. I trusted them again, relied upon them again, and they betrayed me again. Rather than following through with their promises, the government offered Epstein a sweetheart deal and shielded powerful individuals from accountability. And they persist in granting special treatment to certain people to this day. I have received death threats from Maxwell and her associates, including one instance where they threatened to burn my apartment down. And those threats have not stopped. I have been subjected to more than 3 decades of ongoing harassment, vicious challenges to my truthfulness, and real danger from internet instigators, trolls, and more. Meanwhile, my numerous efforts to obtain my 1996 report from the FBI have been rejected time and again. In 2023, I wrote a letter to the government asking for an investigation of the government's actions or inactions in response to my 1996 report. The Inspector General replied saying they were busy with other things, would get back to me, and they never did. I sent multiple FOIA requests for my FBI report records. In January 2025, in response to my most recent request, the government said that they would get back to me in November of 2027, a delay of 3 years. I finally received a letter saying they looked at my complaint, took some kind of action, and the matter was addressed. But what they did was a secret. With no other choice, I filed an administrative claim against the government and then a lawsuit. Since then, virtually nothing has happened, and I'm left waiting and wondering what is next. With the passage of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, after years of efforts to get my records, an FD-71 form was released for the first time, confirming just a small part of my 1996 whistleblower and vindicating some of what I had said for years. However, the full extent of what I told the FBI was not in that document, so the release of the Epstein files provides only partial relief for me. Where is the evidence I provided of my sexual assault and that of my sister Annie? Why won't the FBI release my full report? The failures of those sworn to protect us have overwhelmed me. Doing my civic duty has cost me dearly. The stress of this trauma, the government hiding and refusing to turn over written confirmation of my 96 report, along with the ongoing harassment and death threats, have contributed to me developing serious health issues, including Hodgkin's lymphoma, a brain tumor, and recently Addison's disease. In the last month, I have spent 23 nights in hospitals, including multiple nights in the ICU. Along with my health, it has robbed me of my career. In 1996, I was fresh out of graduate school and living a life that I had always dreamed, creating and selling art in New York City. When I was assaulted, threatened, held captive, my career was halted, and the trajectory of my life was thrown off course. So many others had their dreams shattered by these crimes, and they could have been prevented. Individuals like Virginia Giuffre, who is the backbone of this case and remains the inspiration behind this fight. She's the reason my sister and I came forward publicly so we could stand together. She faced also relentless attacks to her credibility online. She fought. While Virginia may no longer be physically beside us, she's been our shining star and guiding light and remains so today. The rest of humanity owes it to her legacy to continue this quest. We are still walking down the trail that Virginia blazed for us. So let me be direct about what we need. The federal government owes us explanations, accountability for injuries caused, and a promise of systemic change when crimes against children are reported. Accountability should start with the government's acknowledgement and responsibility for their repeated failures to act in response to my 1996 report. The government needs to take responsibility for endangering and injuring girls and young women. The government needs to start telling the truth, face my lawsuits, and be held to account to me and to all others who've been harmed. Had the FBI done their job, 30 years of child sex abuse and trauma could have been avoided. I want my full FBI file, including the 96 and 2006 reports, including my art. We also need the FBI and the Department of Justice to fully investigate every lead in this case. We need investigation and prosecution of everyone responsible, both men and women. This includes the officials who enabled the 2008 sweetheart deal, the other perpetrators, and the many co-conspirators, and anyone who is currently shielding powerful individuals from justice. No more protection for the guilty. There must be no pardoning or commuting the sentence of Maxwell, who sexually abused me, my minor sister, so many girls and other young women, and personally threatened to kill me, has shown no remorse and has demonstrated no basis on which to believe she would ever be truthful. As the Epstein case whistleblower, I have waited 3 decades for justice. It's a miracle I'm still fighting, especially considering what the stress of 3 decades of this case has done to my health and well-being.
You know what, man? So this is diabolical work, man. So Donald Trump, his Department of Justice, they said that they were supposed to release all the Epstein files, and they failed. They failed these people. And I'm gonna tell you something. She's getting criticized because they're saying, "Hey, why didn't you?" People are saying, "Why don't you just say it now?" And listen, I agree with that. I agree. I mean, she's saying, "Hey, man, why not release all the files and all of my complaints with all the co-conspirators' names? Why are you guys not releasing all of my complaints?" Right? Who else were the co-conspirators? This is Donald Trump's Department of Justice that have not released all of these files. She's even saying her own, but she's getting criticized because people are saying, "Well, why don't you just say the names out loud? Why y'all always say this, that, but y'all never come out and say the name?" I agree with that. I just think they should go ahead and just say all the names of the people who were involved as well. Because if the government's not going to release it, why don't they just release the information? Personally, I agree to all the people who's criticizing her. It's hard to criticize a victim, but I'm gonna tell you something. At some point, I think they should just get together, have a press conference, and come out and announce to everybody that did something to them. Period. Publicly. That's what I believe. Because at this point, it's not gonna. This ain't gonna. They're never gonna want to put that out. And she's telling y'all that Ghislaine Maxwell, even until now, she says she's receiving threats on her life. If you think Virginia Giuffre took herself out, I got a bridge in God daggone Idaho to sell you. I don't believe that either. Straight up. It was ironic how she allegedly did that to herself right before all this Epstein stuff hit and these files were released. So now it's just this woman that's saying she got all kind of medical health issues now dealing with the stress and everything else that came with this for all these years. She can't get no justice. But the guy that y'all sitting up here praising, Donald Trump, his Department of Justice, over there with the former Pam Bondi, cockeyed FBI director, Kash Patel, and all of these. Why ain't these people release all these files like this woman said? This woman, she says she gave all that information to the feds. She said there's so many co-conspirators that haven't even been arrested. Where they at? All we heard was Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. See, this is why I said, and she cannot be afraid of, and I know she's probably going to be afraid of the backlash of who she says is co-conspirators. But she got to, me, they got to just say it, bro. Because if they don't say it, it ain't never going to come out. If they don't say that ish, it's never going to come out, yo. They're never going to let that out. So she might as well just come out and just let it hang. She might as well just say it all. Just go ahead and say all of these Bamas that was co-conspirators with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Because she said it was many co-conspirators. Very powerful political people. Powerful people. I wonder who. I wonder how high up that goes. See, I'm gonna tell you something. At this point, when and again, she's got criticized. I saw people criticizing her last night when this came out, saying, well, "Why don't you guys ever say any names? All y'all do is come out and say, hey, man." Now, I don't want to criticize a victim, but I think it's that time because I don't think they're ever gonna get what they want to get, man. You know what I'm saying? The president of the United States, these guys are the biggest. They are the biggest deflectors that you've ever seen before in life. I mean, you got a whole WAR going on just to have gotten away from the Epstein files. Think about it. Now she comes out last night and she puts this out here in the atmosphere. She might as well go ahead, get with the lawyer, get the other ladies to come together, do a press conference. Because remember, Melania Trump says put their record in on the record. So the president's wife, the first lady, said that it should be done. So shouldn't these women be protected? Let them come on out and do exactly what Melania Trump said do. We don't want to hear no lip service. Let them come out, do the press, and let them name every other person they have accused. And matter of fact, she should just do it. I don't even think she should wait on anybody. She should just do it. Because after you don't release this video last night, I mean, to me, you might as well go ahead and tell the whole world because you don't trust them that they're going to do the right thing and release all the files. You're saying they haven't released all the files. And Donald Trump and them said they were going to release all the files. And they were supposed to release all the files. So why are the people who are the ones who actually went to the FBI and made these allegations, why are they saying, hey, man, that's not all the files. That ain't everything I said. I said a whole lot more, and I gave co-conspirators names and information. Where they at? Man, I'm telling y'all, it must be some real powerful people on that list for these people to be even scared to say their names like this. And this is the reason why. I'm telling you this right now, man. This is the reason why y'all see all these other distractions going on. Because they don't want to get to this. And we should have well over 1,000 likes in this video. You guys, like I said, y'all need to be locked into these videos I'm putting out. I'm giving y'all content, man. And good damn content at that. So salute to everybody who support what I'm doing, man. Because listen, ain't too many people out here standing up on this shit, man. Let's just keep it real, bro. I come out here on a day-to-day basis standing on this. This is facts. See what I'm saying? And so I ain't got room for none of them. Real talk, man. I ain't got room for none of them. I don't care what your name is, who you is. I don't care what celebrity you at, what stance you on, what level you at. Nah, man, I don't play about them youngins, man. No, nah, that's a no-go. Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.